Welcome, everybody, to this month's Hypnotherapy Uncensored Spotlight. It is June 2026. For those of you who might be joining us for the first time, and I think there's just maybe two of you, and then whoever else comes through the YouTube channel, we do these spotlights, or I should say, I strive to do these spotlights the first Wednesday of every month. And it's really just a series where we sit down with some of the most interesting people in the hypnosis profession, based on my unbiased opinion. I have full say so over who I find the most interesting because it's my show. Anyway, and we want to just have these uncensored conversations with them about their work, their journey, what they've learned along the way. It's not a high pressure sales pitch. It's not a webinar. There's no fancy PowerPoint presentations required, although some people do bring that. That's fine when they do, but it's not required. It's really just an opportunity to get to know the people behind the names that many of us have come to know and respect. And you can check out some of the others. I have been doing this since June 2021. It doesn't feel like that long, but we now have amassed quite a library, and it's all in the YouTube channel. You'll find a ton of interviews, free resources, trainings, all kinds of things. And it's a very well kept secret, but not on purpose. I'm hoping not to keep this a secret any longer. So make sure you like and subscribe so the algorithm gods will make it less of a secret for us, and we can get all of this fantastic free information out to everyone. That is the mission. So, and if you want to receive reminders of who is going to be sitting in the spotlight and what we're going to be talking about and when, then go ahead and like and subscribe. Today, I'm absolutely delighted to welcome Scott Sandland for the second time now. We had you on, I think, in 2023. Yeah.
That's right.
Scott is the co-founder and organizer of Hypnothoughts Live, which has grown into the largest hypnosis conference in the world. You've been a professional hypnotist for several decades. You used to be known as like the youngest professional hypnotist. Yeah.
Yep.
Working across multiple specialties, and you have had a front row seat to the whole evolution of the AI revolution, the evolution of the revolution in the hypnosis profession. So thank you so much for being here. And I would like to start at the beginning and just
Sure.
ask I can't believe I didn't ask you this last time. What first inspired Hypnothoughts? Like, was there a gap or a problem you were trying to solve in the profession, or like what sparked that?
No, so HypnoThoughts. Okay, so the original slogan for HypnoThoughts was it's the MySpace for hypnotists because that's what year this
That didn't
was,
age very well, did it?
right? Well, I mean, it sort of turned out similar. They
To
just both turned
MySpace.
into data sets.
There we go.
Um, but uh, a friend of mine, I was at a party and someone said, "Did you know you can create your own MySpace now?" And I was like, "Well, who wants their own MySpace? The point of MySpace is to be on everyone's."
Right.
Like,
Community. Right.
and he was like, "No, you can create your own for like your niche industry." And I
Hmm.
said, "Oh, like for hypnosis." And he's like, "Yeah, you could just have the MySpace for hypnotists." And so literally we were at a party and I sat down on a couch like around people just 20-year-olds partying and pulled out a BlackBerry and built hypnosis.ning.com and didn't think of it again for four
Wait,
months.
hypnosis dot what?
Ning, because
Ning.com.
Ning was the platform. Ning was the build your own
Ah,
MySpace thing. And so I got hypnosis dot that thing.
right.
Um, and didn't think of it for like 4 months. And then 4 months, 5 months, something like that later, my one of my instructors and mentors passed away. And she was this wonderful woman who wasn't well known. And she was one of those sort of like behind the scenes people who knew her knew she was excellent, but she didn't want to be a presenter or well known. She just wanted to do good work.
Yeah.
Um, and she was awesome. And her name was Janet Macy. And when Janet passed away, I just kind of wrote like a eulogy obituary thing about my friend. And it was just sort of like my thoughts. And I didn't like, and I wanted to share it with a couple of our mutual like friends in our small group.
Right.
And there wasn't a place where I could really do that because I didn't have a blog and like there wasn't a format to do that respectfully. So I literally just put it on hypnosis.ning.com because it was a thing I had, and said, "This is my eulogy for Janet." And
Hmm.
and mutual friends just organically came and commented. And in order to do that, they created a free profile. And all of a sudden, it just started turned into a place where we could talk. And then it really organically grew because it was the best technology at the time.
Wow. Okay, so then it became a physical thing. Like you brought it into the real space, not just
Mhm.
virtual space. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, so the way we grew was we came up with, I just very luckily came up with a good advertising policy, which
Mhm,
was,
mhm.
we've got a lot of people here, but you're not allowed to advertise to them unless you're a member of the community and you actually talk. Because I don't want people to feel like they're just being bombarded with ads from anywhere.
Right,
I
right.
want it to be people in the community adding value. And so I was getting, Jerry Kine and Gil Boyne and like important people were sharing their thoughts in the community and arguing with each other and agreeing with each other. And so it became this crazy thing where we added 200 new members a month every month for
Oh,
three
wow.
years. Like without an ad, without writing a single ad, without going anywhere, there wasn't online marketing. So
Just the
like
word of mouth getting
just
out. Yeah.
yeah, and so from there we said, some people said, hey, we should meet in person. We're going to the NGH conference. Let's have like our own meetup at the NGH.
And where was that?
Um, well, we were going to do that at the NGH convention 15 years ago, and the NGH refused. They said we couldn't.
Oh,
And so, because we asked permission,
right.
and when we said, may we, they said no. And so we said, okay. And like we said, we offered to pay for things and sponsor things. We said, what could work? And they said, nothing, go away.
Thank God they said no, because look what it did.
And
It
so
caused
because
you
they
to
said
create
go
this
away,
whole, yeah.
yeah, we said, well, let's just make our own fun thing. And here we are. And so we just decided to be the fun conference.
You actually, so we share that in common a little bit in that Hypnotherapy Uncensored was born because I got kicked out of another hypnosis forum where I was being censored. So I was like, thank God that happened. Thank goodness I got
Yes.
kicked out for
Yeah.
the, because I refused to be censored. And so here we are.
Yeah.
That's a
I know the
fantastic
feeling.
origin story. I love that. I want to, so you've been at the center of something that's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger each year for 14 years now.
Mhm.
So you have a very unique vantage point. You get to see like up close the very best and sometimes not great parts of our profession and our community. And I'm curious,
Yes.
like let's start with like what's something that has unexpectedly delighted
Um,
you?
the thing that has unexpectedly delighted me is there are people who have unexpectedly delighted me. Like people who have like come out of nowhere and become like amazing people in this industry that I got to see first. And
Mm.
like I don't take credit for their success because I didn't do it, but I did get to see it first. And so
Mhm.
that's kind of like when your
Yeah, but you
favorite
also gave
band
them a
becomes popular.
platform to
Yeah.
launch themselves, to like to share their brilliance, their knowledge, their skills, their wisdom, right?
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
you can take some credit for that.
I mean, yes, yes, we did create the platform and create the like, there's these really cool examples.
Feel free to
Kaz
share one.
Riley, yeah,
Yeah,
Kaz
there we
Riley
go.
comes to mind. Kaz is a
Yeah.
perfect example of a person who I remember when we were debating approving her to become a presenter or not. And she had this weird name and this topic on sex, and no one had ever heard of her, and we couldn't find, she wasn't on the internet. She didn't really have a presence. And so we took an absolute gamble on this woman. And uh, she's Kaz. Not
Yep.
only is she a consummate professional, she's also, um, you know, uh, really, really talented and,
And
and
became your
caring and
keynote speaker.
sincere, and became a keynote speaker. Yeah, and is
Yeah,
like to see that
that is
really cool.
incredible.
And the other one that comes to mind is Stephanie. Skiba. Like it's really fun to have watched her go from uh, genuinely a secretary to like stepping into making decisions and being who, we all know Stephanie to be. So I would say those are
Yeah.
two easy examples, but I could come up with a bunch
I'm
more.
sure. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's fantastic and great examples. So the next question, of course, is
Mhm.
what's something that made you kind of go like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
Um, I have had to break up fistfights,
Oh my gosh. Well,
which is really fun.
it is Vegas.
It is, yeah, exactly. Uh, year one.
Hold on, I just got a really funny look from Chris when I said it is Vegas. Do you live in Vegas? I'm sorry. No,
No,
okay. I didn't mean to offend you. I was just thinking, like, when you have a bunch of people in a place where there's alcohol and gambling and hypnosis, maybe things can get a little heated.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
And way fewer contextual anchors for real life and society and how it should be running. Um, no, year one was a very unusual year because no one knew what we were, and so no one knew who should come. And
Mm.
there was a magician's event uh, on a different week
And
nearby,
that's like a
and
little bit adjacent to stage hypnosis, isn't it?
and so then there were some people who were stage hypnotists slash magicians who wanted to be the next Chris Angel kind of dude, like
Mm-hmm.
who were trying to be Darren Brown, who
Right.
were kind
Right.
of piggybacking both conferences. So we had a few of those guys that didn't, and we didn't have policies and we didn't know what we wanted to be yet. So there was a lot of weirdness in those first couple years.
Yeah.
But
Just getting your footing and figuring it out,
yeah, but like fist
growing
fights,
pains.
we had one presenter try to fight security once. That was a brilliant idea.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah, that was great. Um, but for the most part, I mean, we've had a person or two stuck in an elevator over the years, things like that. Um, but for the most part,
I think I
it's
actually have
more
heard
goods
of,
than bads.
I know somebody that happened to.
You
I
probably
can't think of
do.
who it is, but it was like 2022. I remember somebody telling me that story about being
You-
stuck in an elevator.
and
And
I
it
mean,
was
we've
not at
had,
the Sahara, it was the old one. What's the old
yeah,
one?
At the Orleans.
The Orleans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had people stuck in the elevator at both. I mean, the COVID year was a rough year for
I
sure.
bet.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so like we've just been through it all at this point. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
So after all of these years of doing this, the ups, the downs, the unexpected twists, turns, and unexpected delights, what kind of keeps you motivated enough, excited enough to just keep doing it year after year and growing it?
I mean, it is a lot of work. I do work on it almost every single day. Like
Do
it
you?
is a
Okay.
year-round job. Like people think like when do you get started on it? Like I am genuinely working on 2027 already.
Wow.
Like it's just what it takes.
Yeah.
And because we care. Um, what keeps me going is I care. And like I I don't know if I want to. So I moved a year ago. My wife got a new job, and so we relocated. And I didn't reopen a private practice, and I don't know if I want to. I've thought about it, but I don't know if I want to be on the front lines. But I really like this vantage point. Like I really like getting to see different people's careers and like where they're going. Like it's
Right.
a very satisfying perspective.
Well, so how
And
long have you been a hypnotist? Let's just
I've
get that
been
out there.
sure. I got certified in 1998. So I
Okay.
started learning in 97. I started like doing in 97, I guess, and then got
Hmm.
certified in 98, and then started seeing clients by 99. I was seeing clients, and I was in college. So
Wow.
while I was in college, while I was in a dorm room, I was doing house calls and I was going to people's
Wow.
homes to see clients because I couldn't have them come to the dorm. Um, and so I was going to see grown-ups, like my professors were sending me to their family
I'm
members
getting a picture of like Doogie Howser in my head.
very
And
much.
anybody who knows who that is, now you know how old I am. But
And that reference is the exact right age for who I was.
yeah.
I was Doogie Howser. Like I really, really was.
So, like, okay, I'm a little mind blown here, but what at such a young age inspired you so much about hypnosis that you were like, I'm going to do this no matter what, even though I don't have an office, even though I'm still kind of just a kid, I'm in college. Like, what
So
bug bit you to cause all of this?
so I was doing hypnosis, or I got into hypnosis for pain control. So I say I was in a car accident. The complete story is, if you remember the movie Teen Wolf, since we're doing
Mhm.
pop culture
Yeah.
references, I was on
Michael
top of a
J.
car.
Fox. Okay.
I was on top of the car surfing like Michael J. Fox was on the van in Teen Wolf. And we were going about 30, 35 miles an hour.
Oh, God.
And my buddy hit the brakes, and I did a Superman right off the front of the car. And that was the night we found out that opiates don't really work well on me, which was an
Mm.
upsetting way to discover this.
Your natural
And
redhead gene, too. So
that,
I have that too. You
um,
can't tell anymore because it's faded,
yeah.
but yeah.
Uh, so like the amount of opiates I would have to take to get pain control is the amount of opiates I would have to take to ruin my life.
Yep.
So I found, long story short, I found hypnosis for pain control and it worked. And then I was doing hypnosis for pain control before I got certified. I was like hypnotizing like all my college athlete buddies because I was a water polo player. So me and all my friends were athletes. So I was just like parroting back what the woman did to me in the session to my friends, and it would work sometimes. And that was enough to make me buy
Pretty
a
popular, probably too.
it's pretty cool. And I bought a book on, learn hypnosis in under an hour
Do
and
you remember
hypnotize the
what
guy.
that first
And
book was?
it was genuinely learn to hypnotize in under an hour, and it sucked. Um, but it worked.
But it
So,
worked.
it got me on my way. Um, and and I was it wasn't what I wanted to do. It was just what I was doing,
Mhm,
just kind of
mhm.
like being a
It
college
wasn't
person.
like a career choice. It was just like
It was
a
just cool.
little
I was
side
just
quest.
curious.
Yeah.
It was what I was doing during off season
Mhm.
because I had free time during off season. And and then I would like all
And
of
the
a
late
sudden,
90s too was an
yeah,
interesting time for hypnosis.
it
There was
was.
that VH1 guy, the dating guy.
Uh-huh.
Remember? I never can remember
The
the
speed
name.
seduction dudes
Right.
and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was weird because I came into hypnosis as a young man, not through that
Not
path.
through that channel. Yeah.
And I was ignorant about it because I predated
Good.
it a little bit. So I was coming in like Ross Jeffries is I think who you're thinking of.
I just
Was
remember
the
the stage name was like Mr. E.
Oh yeah, that was the other guy who like whatever. That's that whole community.
Yeah. Anyway,
But I was like the kind of the same
I was
age, but
so like about
it
it.
was
So yeah.
yeah, it was what was interesting about it was like it was a pyramid scheme of predatoriness because
Hmm. You nailed
you
it.
think, but like because the interesting
That's a
thing
great
is
way to describe it.
like you as the woman are actually only one tier of who's being preyed upon, and actually one tier above you in the
Are the
pyramid
men that
scheme
they're
are the
training?
lonely, socially awkward young men that they are training into dependency on this group of trainers who's dependent on that dude. And so like everyone's prey in that pyramid scheme, and all they're doing is teaching externalization of locus of control into internalization of locus of control, which is not a bad thing.
But without
um,
consent.
well, they're trying to teach the lonely boys how to do that, but the methodology they do it is objectifying women and all the things that are stupid and
Yeah.
horrible and gross about it,
Right. Right.
obviously. um, but like at its core, it could be a self-help program for those guys if they just weren't being
Preyed upon.
uh,
Yeah.
if they weren't predatory assholes, and if they weren't just like this sad broken piece that I've just like I've always had empathy for and never seen it as like remotely like ambitious or alpha. Like it's
So
always
instead of
looked just kind
identifying
of
themselves as
lonely
the
to
victim,
me.
they could have used it to actually improve their lives.
Yeah, yeah. And if they had just gotten a frame that was, um, just like, uh, just a healthy frame, just like a respectful of themselves and the other person instead of
And the other person.
disrespecting both.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
anyway,
No, you're
but
preaching
yeah,
to
I
the
came from
choir
this
here, but
very
yeah, but
different
it's just an
path.
interesting time, but
Yeah,
you weren't involved with that, even though it was kind of around the same time.
I didn't learn about it until 2023
It sounds like you were very much on the therapeutic side. You started with like pain
completely.
control and yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I was really, my early training was very influenced by a couple women, Roy Hunter and Michael Elner. And so like, it was a quite maternal
Yeah.
influence. Like
Yeah,
most
yeah.
of my main
And they're
mentors and
they're all pretty client led and very into empowering the client instead of creating dependency. So as you know,
and
I've
they're
studied with Roy Hunter too.
yeah, and they're all very
Yeah,
nurturing
yeah,
people. Like
yeah,
so like I really came from that way. And so
yeah.
then in 23 when I was introduced to David Snyder, Mark Cunningham, that side of the more, and I got to know Jerry Kine and things like that. I was exposed to more of the paternal side,
Mhm.
years into doing the work. So
Yeah. Okay, I have a question for you that this is where it gets a little uncensored. We're going to
let's
wake
be
these
there.
gals up. It's all women, anyways. This is fun. If you could wave a magic wand and instantly change one thing about our profession, no holds barred, what would it be?
Mandatory clinical supervision
Hmm,
overseen by people who have proven to have the goods.
that's a great answer.
So it wouldn't be the blind leading the blind, and it wouldn't be the blind running off on their own. It would be what all the other helping professions have
Hmm. Every
created,
other therapeutic, yeah, modality.
which is an infrastructure to incubate these people who have finished their training but aren't ready to be it yet.
Hmm, hmm.
And they're not supposed to. Apprenticeship, internship, whatever that thing is, clinical supervision, like that thing um, would be built into our industry.
Yeah, great answer. Which segues into this next question, which is looking back at the person that you were when you first got started. What is a piece of advice that you wish someone had given you? I don't want the polished answer. Okay. This isn't a conference, this is
Right.
uncensored. Um, just the advice that you would have genuinely given to younger Scott if you could sit with him right now.
Um, if
Because
I could talk
there's probably
to,
some young
yeah.
Scott Sandlands that are going to be watching this. So, yeah.
So I would say, and it's crazy. The answer is then fucking do it. Is
Mm,
what I would say to younger me. I think I have surprisingly sat back on a couple things that I wish I hadn't sat back on. Dumb example, but also excellent example because it's so dumb and obvious, is I remember I was getting advice from, um, this is very name droppy, forgive me, but Robert and Linda Otto and Jerry Kine were
mhm,
sitting in
mhm.
front of me at the IMDHA conference, and they're like, you need to be making products. You need to be making recordings, 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 recordings. You need to be making tapes and CDs, tapes and CDs, tapes and CDs. And I was like, idiots. Technology's coming out and tapes and CDs aren't going to be the thing anymore. So, no. Instead of just saying, oh, I should make an app or I should make MP3s or I should do any of that,
You
I
just
could
closed the door.
always, I used like I used my youthful tech advantage that I had over those people to not take their advice instead of modernizing their advice.
Mm,
And so the advice I would give myself is the old people have really good insight and their patterns are excellent. Just modernize them, don't throw them out.
right.
Because there
Yeah.
was a bunch of wisdom I got early on that I can think back on and that I didn't implement for many years that I wish I had implemented much earlier.
So, what was he already doing right that he didn't give himself enough credit for? That younger Scott Sandland.
Young Scott Sandland was really, really good at pacing and was really good on his feet. Like,
And you have a great voice too.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
I do. I have a good, I know I have a good
you do.
soothing
It's
voice for it. I
not, yeah,
lucked out on
exactly.
that.
It's soothing. Yeah, 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 you did.
It's not Gilbert Godfrey. Um,
Thank God.
yeah, yeah. I
You
don't think
could
you would have
probably
invited
hypnotize
me.
a parrot though.
Um,
Would he believe
but
you? Would that young Scott Sandland believe you if you went back in time, college days and said like, so in 2026, we're going to be on our 14th year of
the
the
conference,
biggest hypnosis conference in the world. Like, what do you think his response would be?
um, if you had said to like first couple of years, like when I was doing house calls, I was a broke like that first year I was real. It was real rough.
Yeah.
Um, and I remember like there wasn't really an internet to learn hypnosis on like
Mm-hmm.
in 1998. Like kind of like barely Yahoo groups.
Yeah.
And and so the idea that like the only places that could have conferences were certifying bodies because they were the only ones who could have mailing lists. So if you told me I had a conference,
Mm,
I would think
good
that meant
point.
I owned a mailing list of envelopes from a certifying body. Like I would think I was in charge of like the American Board of Hypnotherapy, which I don't even know if it exists anymore, but it was important back then.
Right, right. Um, where do you see the future of HypnoThoughts Live? Like, just let's look like 5 years in the future,
Uh,
or less if you want. You pick.
Sure. So I tend to think of HypnoThoughts on 3-year horizons.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just finishing one actually. I know it's not on sequence. But because it's our 14th year. But I started doing this a couple of years in, so it does make sense. But looking at 3-year horizons, we're not going to be in Las Vegas anymore. That's for sure. I
You
don't
might
want to be
need
in
to
Las
tell us a little
Vegas.
bit more about that.
Yeah,
Just tease it out.
we have been actively looking to leave Las Vegas since we left Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
So when we went to the Sahara, we almost left Las Vegas altogether. But the Sahara really courted us, and so we stayed. And it was easy to just go downtown.
Right.
Um, but
And people were
no,
already used to going to Vegas and they had it in their
there was
calendars and yeah.
yeah, but
Humans love familiar stuff. So.
they do. And back then, airlines were subsidized by casinos, and your hotel room was subsidized by the
Ah,
casino, and everything was cheaper because Vegas knew they were going to get your money at the casino.
right.
Now, social media satisfies that dopamine centric part of our brain so well that casinos don't make as much money. So Vegas just tries to make money from you everywhere they can. And so the deals aren't there anymore. And so
Mm.
the value of
I
being
hadn't
in
even
Las
considered
Vegas,
that about the dopamine rush
yeah,
replacement. But yeah,
yeah,
that
we
makes
don't
total
we don't need
sense.
to go to Las Vegas to gamble. We can gamble just by hitting refresh.
Yeah, actually, when
Um,
I'm at HypnoThoughts, I spend my time in classes and in my room, and that's it. I don't go anywhere else. I know I should because it's Vegas and there's all kinds of
but
stuff, but
nobody,
honestly, it's overwhelming. It's too
yeah,
much.
nobody want like
And I'm an introvert,
no.
so.
And nobody wants 4 days of casinos. So like we've always done it there because it was a necessary evil. We like the
But there was a
Sahara.
lot of great reasons before
Yeah.
that
And
those
so now
don't
we're just
exist
looking for
anymore.
other places where there are reasons that good.
Yeah.
I think the shape of HypnoThoughts Live is going to change. Since COVID, pre and post conferences have really, really changed industry wide. And in-person training has really changed industry wide. And I don't think people have really landed on what works yet.
Yeah.
Um, I'm going to be putting out, by the way, a census in the next week, maybe even the next 24 hours. I did one about 15 years ago that was like, how much did you learn before you started seeing clients? How much did you start charging? How much do you charge now? How many clients do you see a week?
Feel free to
Like,
pop that into the Hypnotherapy Uncensored group too.
oh, I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Hmm.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But the idea is, and all the information is going to be shared and it's anonymous. But the idea is like, uh, we just we just need to like find out what's working and what isn't, because there's a lot of hype and there's a lot of people trying to sell you their plan, but that doesn't mean it works or that it will work for you. So I'd like to just get to a ground truth. And when I did it 15 years ago, it really helped us, make good decisions. And so I'd like to do that
Yeah.
again. So we're
Yeah.
gonna put that out. But I think that will change the shape of HypnoThoughts.
Yeah.
What pre and post conferences look like. AI is definitely going to change HypnoThoughts dramatically. And not just we're going to stick a bot on the conference. Like meaningfully, AI is going to be changing a lot about how we all learn and practice
Hmm.
over the next 3 years.
It
So
already is, but yeah. Hmm.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and the rate at which it's going to change is going to accelerate.
Well, yeah, as is the nature of all technology,
Mhm.
kind of gets to an exponential point. Um, I would like to ask you, what kind of legacy do you hope to leave behind with all of this, with HypnoThoughts, with your own profession, with what you've offered to the profession?
My answer on legacy has changed so much
Mm,
in the last 5 years, and like multiple times. Um, uh, I would say no. Where it is now, I guess, is all that really matters, not the whole journey. The legacy I want to have is to be a good steward of the actual work. And
mhm.
I know I'm in a weird position in the industry because like everything's voluntary and it's all just, about like basically customer service benefits. And we don't have licensing or have
Right.
tos. And so I- I'm in charge of HypnoThoughts, but that's not the same thing as being in charge of anything important. That is being in
I don't
charge of a
know.
like there's a balance to that, right? Like, one can argue, within
You
our
might not
echo
realize
chamber,
this, or maybe you haven't fully accepted it, but what you're doing there, hold on to your seat. You can make or break careers.
we have.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a lot, I mean, but with
yeah,
that also comes like an enormous amount of responsibility and integrity to make sure that you continue to hold that.
yeah. And that's the legacy I want. I
Yeah.
want to have the legacy of being a good steward
Yeah.
of the position I have found myself in.
Yeah.
Because like I said, like I'm not in charge, as, or only as much as like I'm empowered by the people who
Exactly.
choose to,
It's
you know,
reciprocal, right? I mean,
yeah,
like you wouldn't have the power if people weren't giving it to you, but also they wouldn't give it to you unless they felt like you could do something positive and helpful with it, right?
yeah. If no one applies to speak next year,
Right,
the
exactly.
story's over.
And speaking of
Um,
which, I'm sorry that I didn't apply this year. I just knew that my personal life is in a little bit too much chaos and I didn't want to accept it and then have to drop out again like I did last year. So,
no, we understand. Like, people's people's lives are real, and like every year we have people who have to drop out
yeah.
for happy and sad reasons, and that's reasonable. And this year there's going to be even more so, because we're going to have
Mm.
fewer international people than ever, or maybe, I mean,
Oh,
COVID
yeah.
was much worse, but like besides COVID, this will be the fewest
Right.
international travelers we've ever had, because of some countries are advising people not to come, and
Not to
travel
come to
restrictions,
America.
and
Yeah.
fuel costs. And so just because of it, it's going to be a much more US centric group this year.
Mhm.
Um, but I think that'll be interesting. And it's going to
Well,
be super fun.
so let's talk a little bit about the attendee experience because some of the people watching today or after I get it uploaded into the YouTube channel will be
Yep.
attending for their first time.
Yeah.
Or maybe they weren't even planning on attending and now they want to just because they've watched this. So, yeah, tell me a little bit about what, tips, tricks, advice, what you can suggest. Just walk us through it.
Yeah. So
What do you wish they knew before they got there?
one of the cool things about HypnoThoughts Live is it is the only special badge we give out is for first timers. So first timers get a special sticker on their badge. Everybody else gets the same one. Vendors, presenters, me, it doesn't matter. Everyone has the exact same badge. So no one's graded on how important they are based on anything. Everyone's
I
treated
like
equal
that.
except first timers. They get a special sticker so everyone knows to be extra welcoming and extra helpful. And I love, love, love our community. People are completely helpful. They go out of their way to introduce themselves. They go out of their way to like invite them to tables and groups. So
Mhm,
the
mhm.
first thing is if you are a first timer at Hypno Thoughts Live, show up just willing to say yes. Just go stand near people. And if all you have to do, like literally, if you walk up to any group of anybody with a badge and say, I'm new and know nothing, like you will be welcomed with
They're going
open
to rope you
arms.
in. Yep.
Yeah, there it's the cool just if you just say I'm new, just just help. Like they'll
Yeah.
be like they'll hold you by the hand and they'll say, "What do you want to learn? What kind of stuff are you interested in? Let's pull
Yeah.
out the schedule and highlight shit." Like the people in our community are so sincere that they are helpers and do-gooders, whether they're on the clock or not.
Right.
That's the
Yeah.
main thing to know.
Yeah. And I can attest to that. It is a very welcoming community for the most part. There's a few outliers, but that's the case with
Well,
any population
yeah,
of
they're made out of
anything,
people.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're made out of people. So, how can someone get the most value out of the conference without becoming so like completely overwhelmed by the many, many choices?
I think this is true for every conference. I'm going to speak hypnosis specifically, but I go to conferences for a bunch of different industries. And I do this personally when I'm going to conferences. I make a list of who I want to meet and who I want to talk to
Mm-hmm.
in advance. Like I look at the speaker list and I say, who do I want to meet? Like, and that doesn't mean I'm going to get all of them, but it does mean I have a hit list.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then, if at all possible, I reach out to as many of them as I can, and I say, "Hey, uh, Casey, you and I are going to be at this conference together. Uh, I'm a fan of your work on X. If you get a chance, I'd love to talk to you about Y sometime. Or I'm going to be at your talk on X. If you're at a lobby or a mixer, I'd love to, take a moment and bend your ear. Like I would just
And
reach out
how
to
will they
each of
find each
them.
other to make those connections? Because I think
And
that's kind
then
of important too.
and then that's like if I'm sending that email to each presenter,
Hmm.
then that's what I'm doing at the conference. I've got
Hmm.
them circled on my schedule and I'm going and finding them.
Hmm.
I'm not necessarily like there are some times where I'll say, hey, can we meet at 3 o'clock on Saturday? Or can I meet you? I know you're talking on Saturday. Can I meet you Sunday at breakfast? Or you can schedule dates like that, but at the
Hmm.
very least, reach out to them and just so that when you're at the conference, you can say, hey, I reached out and told you I was a fan. And then that presenter is going to give you their time.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, wow, you put in the effort to really come find me. You do want my attention, you've earned it. And now you're going to get good one-on-one time. That is the like, don't experience the conference like by accident. Don't
Mm.
just count on accidental serendipity. Like the odds of
Got it.
winning the lottery go up when you buy tickets. Like go play. Like I'm not saying go
Yeah.
to the blackjack table.
Oh, speaking of
I'm
play,
saying go do like go hit those people on purpose. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah.
What?
No, no, I
Yeah, yeah.
sorry. No, I just
No,
got
you're good.
excited. I have ADHD. Can you tell? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, wait, hold on, squirrel. Sorry. So one thing I wanted to ask you about is speaking of play, go
Mm.
play. There's a lot of stuff that isn't specific to like education. It's more about community building. So for anybody who hasn't attended Hypnothoughts, tell us a little bit. Like there's I know that there's the pool party and then there's
Yep.
also bowling and like yeah, there
So we've
dance
done
stuff.
tons of different things. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
costume parties, pool
Mm-hmm.
parties,
What
bowling
is the theme this year,
tournaments.
by the way? For
Theme
like
this year, the theme this year is Viva Las Vegas. Um, So, and the reason it's Viva Las Vegas is because this is probably the last year we are going to be in Las Vegas.
Ah,
And so we want to go out with that as the theme. We don't have anything signed,
that's
so we can't
great.
announce anything,
Right.
but these are our
Just kind of
intentions.
keep your ears and
Yeah, pay
eyes
attention,
open for that.
folks.
Yeah.
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 But that's the intention. The Sahara is wonderful. We like the people there. The staff there is fantastic. But I think we're all kind of tired of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so the idea of all the fun, it
Yeah.
goes back to the badges thing. Like you go to conferences and people have like enough stuff on them that like they look like soldiers. Like they look like they've done impressive things. And you're like it's like winning a dog show, like you're like, did you do anything? No. All right.
Right. No, the
Or did you
dog
buy
did
a
that.
vendor booth at a place for like hypnotist enthusiasts? Like, why do we need badges for this?
That so reminds me,
Um,
yesterday I got a thing in the mail. It was so ridiculous. Like, you've been chosen as the best hypnotist in all of North Carolina from your
these,
Google reviews. And just send us $250 and we'll send you
yep,
the. I'm like, oh
yep, and I'll
a
send you
vanity plaque.
and anybody who would like a vanity plaque, I would love to send you one too. Just for $200, I'll do it for less.
You'd be like,
Um,
you have been chosen as Scott Sandland's very favorite something or other. Send me
you bet.
$250 and I'll let everybody know. That's so
I'll tell
funny.
everybody. Um, but yeah, so we I hate that there's all these people like trying to make themselves look important so that
Yeah.
it creates a hierarchy that makes it harder to access that dude. And I
Yeah.
want to make it easier to access that dude. And
Right.
so what we did was we said to that dude who's been wearing a badge with like flags on it for 10 years, hey, when you come to HypnoThoughts, I want you to dress like an idiot and have a bowling tournament. And they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, because we're here to have fun and like to make it disarming so these people can talk to you. So da 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 da. And I've given a whole lecture on the importance of community and fun at HypnoThoughts. And
Well, now it
almost
totally
every
makes
single
sense
one of them
why
did it.
there's a particular instructor whose name I'm legally not allowed to mention. Some people will know who that is just by me saying that. But now I know why she never attends Hypnothoughts because there's just too much fun.
Like,
And also, she
like
can't carry around all of her trophies everywhere she goes.
it's like a guy, like, oh, so that's why we have a bowling tournament, is because the
Yeah.
trophies are stupid.
Yeah.
Like think about this. Okay. Educator of the year, I can understand that. You could probably look into that somehow. It'd be hard, but you could do it. Author of the year, you'd have to read all the books. Did you read all the books? I bet you didn't. Because I have seen twice, I've been to conferences twice where the person who won author of the year won it for a book that was released or launched at the conference.
Oh, how is that possible?
Way to go. Anyway,
Hmm,
so and
interesting.
Hypnotist of the Year is an award that does not make sense to me. How can you tell me who the best hypnotist of the year was? The best hypnotist of the year should shut the hell up and be in their office seeing clients, not being on the radar of a certifying body. So these awards are totally made up political things that I have won a lot of, by the way, because I know how to play the game. And I played the game because winning the awards made it easier for me to get clients, just like the people giving me the awards said it would. And that was the game. Win the award by playing ball with us, do things the right
It's just like
way.
that as seen on TV,
And
like, yeah.
it's it's very procedural. And I remember a guy. This is just because we're uncensored. A guy said to me one time we were at a conference. He's like, "Hey, we're going to go out tonight and drink at this cool bar and do this fun stuff. Do you want to come with us?" I was like, "No, I've got to go to the banquet." And they're like, "Why?" And I was like, "I'm probably winning an award." And they said, "For what?" I was like, "I don't know, but politically they have to give me one, so like I'm gonna get one for something." And they were like, "Oh,
I'm
I
glad
hope
that
you."
you see how like shallow and amusing that is as opposed to taking it too seriously.
Well,
That
I
tickles me.
mean, they they are levers, and they are currency, and they are currency that is exchanged. And I wanted to, when I built HypnoThoughts, I wanted to break that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we've never given any award except a bowling trophy, because it is the thing that is objectively measurable.
And there's,
Like
yeah, you can have a best. There's a
who
score.
knocked down the
It's
most pins is
quantitative.
objectively fair.
Right.
And that's why it's the only award we give away ever, was the Roy Hunter stool for hypnotic bowling excellence. Um,
That's
and
great.
Roy let us name it after him because Roy is the best.
Yeah, he's great.
And it was an homage to Charles Tibbets, but we won't get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why, like everything we do, it's very through line, it's very congruent. Building community relationships and mentorships with the thought leaders in this industry is an important part of your career. If you want to have a great career, you need to listen to people who have succeeded, not listen to people who are selling you shit. The
Oh
people
my
who have
God. Thank
actually
you. Thank you
done
for
the
saying that.
work,
The
like,
the ability to be a great marketer, promoter, salesperson is not doesn't necessarily map over to being a great change worker at all. Like, and you can be a great change worker and kind of suck at this. You want to know why Hypnotherapy Uncensored is kind of one of the best kept secrets? I mean, I have all of these. It's because I'm still learning the promotional side. Like, I
like
don't.
that's yeah, like I think there is there yeah, before you study hypnosis with a person or before you sign up to be in a person's whatever, um, just ask yourself and ask them out loud, have you achieved my goals?
That's a great question. Yeah.
Like, so how many clients a week do you want to see? And how many clients a week have they ever seen for an extended period?
Mm-hmm,
And if
mm-hmm.
they're in the ballpark of the same thing, great. And if you want five more a week than they ever achieved, great. They can still help you a ton.
Right.
But if they've never seen 15 clients a week and you want to see 30 clients a week,
Yeah.
they're not going to be able to tell you why 30 is a bad
You
idea.
need to have somebody that's like a little bit ahead of you, not light years ahead,
Yeah.
not right here, but like,
Who's
right.
actually done it on
And
the
doing
same
the stuff,
path.
not just teaching it, not just promoting it, not just telling you,
Yeah.
but actually doing it. Because honestly, and I say this all the time, but it's so true. And I'm sure you probably feel the same way, but my best teachers are my clients. Period. The end.
It's yeah. Yeah. And the reason I saw, like I said, I haven't opened a practice here yet, and I may or may not. I don't think I will, but like in the last couple years, um, like the main reason I was seeing clients was just to stay sharp because it gives you a fluency that you don't get any other way. And so
Right.
even though I wasn't doing it as like my primary source of income, I kept it because those skills do matter and they
Right.
inform the way you're going to have conversations with each other. So yeah,
So
you have to
before we,
someone on your path is who you should
Mhm.
learn from.
Yeah. And somebody who is, like you said, doing what you want to be doing and consistently, not
Yeah.
just a week. Um, Before we jump into the wrapping up, let's just see if we have any questions and answers or questions that Scott can then provide the answers for.
Happy to.
Anyone? You can just raise your hand since there's not that many of us. No, okay. And then can you tell us a little bit more about, I'm going to pop the link in for the GoFundMe for Scott and Melanie King.
Yes. Thank you for asking.
And I'll pop it into the YouTube
So
notes too.
uh, Scott and Melanie King are members of the hypnosis community, hypnotists, great people. Scott built the last HypnoThoughts Live website and has built websites for quite a few of our peers and colleagues. And they've both done a bunch of really cool stuff. A lot of us know them. Their house just burned down. Their neighborhood burned down. Their community burned down. And I mean flat ash burned down. And so another stage hypnotist reached out to me and asked me to just uh, see what we could do. And so someone else created a GoFundMe. I've talked to the creator of that GoFundMe. I've talked to the creator of the GoFundMe's husband. Scott and Melanie King are staying with them. It's a good one. Like that's a safe,
Okay.
that's where the money's going.
Not a
Scott,
scam.
like Scott and Melanie are sleeping in that person's home.
Mm.
Like they're all connected. So that's a good place to send money. A couple people who have right technological supplies to help Scott get his tech business back up off the ground are donating stuff they have. But they need donations. They are a mom and dad with kids, and overnight everything's gone.
Everything's gone. Yeah.
So this
And
is just
that
one of
link is
those.
now in the chat if
Thank
anybody
you.
would like to follow that
And
up.
and I know what the world looks like right now. I understand what the economy is, and gas prices and food is, whatever at the grocery store for all of us. And and Scott and Melanie have always been nothing but generous, and it's a great opportunity to just look at what you can be grateful for, and every little bit we can do for them helps a lot right now. And that's who we all are.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And yeah, we're a community. We need to take care of each other.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being here. I loved hearing all of your stories and sharing the origins of HypnoThoughts Live.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was special. So before we wrap up, I do want to say thank you to everyone who joined us today and everybody who's going to be watching this in the future for another Hypnotherapy Uncensored Spotlight. These interviews take place, I used to say every first Wednesday of every month, but no, so it's most of them. But I will make sure that you know when they happen and who's going to be in the spotlight and what the theme is if you opt in. And I just want to say, my goal is always just to bring candid, thoughtful conversations. It's not about who has the most followers or who's the biggest influencer. Like you'll see people that I find absolutely fascinating that nobody's ever heard of, and I'm just like, you're brilliant. And I want people to know that you exist. So like, come on. Of course, everybody's heard of Scott. And thank you so much for being here. And if there's someone that you would like to see in the spotlight uncensored, please reach out, nominate them, send me their name. If it's you, even better. And if you've enjoyed today's interview, please like and subscribe so those algorithm gods will push this out even more. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, Scott. It was a
You
pleasure.
bet. Thank you.
And I might see you in July, but I might not. No promises. I'll see what
And
happens when we get there.
those of us who will be there are going to love it. But I
Yeah.
understand fuel prices for some people this year are prohibitive, but it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah. All right. Take care, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, and thank you.